Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on a very important topic, which is Dasha Sandhi. So friends, when I say that my job as an astrologer is not to claim or promise about changing anyone's fate or destiny, I always say the real job of an astrologer is to guide. The real objective of astrology is to bring that divine light in your life. And friends, obviously you will be in need of the guidance when you will be in a perplexing kind of situation, when you are going to be in the life's crossroad. So if I were to rate it down, like what could be the most perplexing or confusing period in someone's life as per the astrological alignments and all, so definitely we know that 1.5 year when Rahu is transiting over your natal moon, or this could be when you are going through the Sade Sati, when the life brings a lot of the pressurizing kind of situation in the life. But over and above that, like along with the transit of the malefic planets over your natal moon, I would say that Dasha Sandhi could also be very perplexing kind of time. See friends, I always say that the way you are behaving right now, your personality, your hobbies, your lifestyle choices, they are a lot governed by the planetary Dasha which you are currently running through, because somehow it controls your personality, and it also governs the flow of the life as well. The way you are going to be behaving in the Saturn Mahadasha is going to be entirely different the way you will be behaving in the Mercury Dasha, or the way you will be behaving in the Ketu Dasha. But the problem comes in those last few months when you're about to transition into new Dasha. So I'm sure that someone who's going to be in the Mercury Dasha and you are in the middle of the Mercury Dasha, now you're comfortable to have many hobbies, you want to socialize, you want to travel. But the same person, when he is going to be in the Ketu Dasha, rather than going to the networking events, this person wants to go to the meditation center. This person wants to be left alone and he wants to be in the mountain, he wants to be in the riverside. So when you are in the middle of a Dasha, you get comfortable with the flow of the life and molding yourself as per the flow of the life. The problem comes when you are in the last few months of the Dasha change. So when, like, imagine you are already in the Mercury Dasha and the last few months of that, now suddenly there is a pull coming in the life that your friends are leaving you, or you by yourself are not very much interested in socializing, and somehow you're getting that pull, you're getting that whisper in your ears that I need to join meditation center, I need to go for a pilgrimage. So these could be the time of the transition in someone's life. And let's say, for example, if you're not very elevated, you are a kind of person who create a lot of resistance in the flow of the life, then these people end up making mistakes because they want to control or govern their life as per the style of the Mercury, but the theme of the life is changing and it is getting transition into the flavors of the Ketu. Same thing happens, you are in the Ketu Dasha, and when you are about to transition into the Venus Dasha, those last few months, now suddenly you will feel, why suddenly I'm getting invitation for the luxury events? Why suddenly so many people are interested in dating me or being with me? So that could be the case that Venus Dasha is about to transition or about to start. So friends, this is going to be a short explanatory video on how to decode the Dasha Sandhi, what you can do to make best use of the Dasha Sandhi, stay protected, stay in control. And I will also share some of the case studies and the reference examples what I have actually encountered in my practical consulting experience. So okay friends, after this now we will switch to the narration part of understanding this concept of Dasha Sandhi. So friends, let's first start with the definition in itself. What is Dasha Sandhi? Dasha Sandhi is the transition phase between two planetary Dasha, when one planet's karmic agenda is exiting and another's is entering. It is not a point, it is a threshold. Just like dawn is neither night nor day, Dasha Sandhi is a liminal karmic zone. So now comes the question, when does Dasha Sandhi operate? So classically, Dasha Sandhi is considered last 6 to 12 months of the ending Mahadasha and first 6 to 12 months of the incoming Mahadasha. So some traditions compress it to 3 to 6 months on each side. Spiritually sensitive natives feel it much longer. And also, depending on the planetary assigned time period as well, right? We know that Saturn dasha is long, Venus dasha is long. Compared to that, Mars and Ketu dasha is like of a shorter duration. So based on that, you have to do the assessment. So now comes the question, what happens during the dasha sandhi? So the very first is old karma loses grip, motivations weaken, attachments feel hollow, success stop giving joy, relationship feel done energetically, even good situations feel heavy. So this is why people say nothing is wrong but nothing feels right. And new karma hasn't stabilized, direction feel unclear, decisions feel premature, new opportunities appear but don't stick, identity feels unstable because the new planet hasn't fully taken command yet. And friends, the psychological symptoms could be like this could be confusion, fatigue, detachment, anxiety without cause, or sudden desire to change life direction. Now, this is the point which I am highlighting more over here. When people book their reading, everything is going fine, they are not contented, and they are forcing a change in their life, which is not being in synchronicity with their destiny. So, this is not weakness, it's ego reconfiguration. Now comes the question, friends, why Dasha Sandhi feels intense? Like the real reason for this. So each Mahadasha runs a complete karmic program. At Sandhi, one karmic software is uninstalling, another is installing, and the mind overloads. So hence the memory loop and identity crisis are some of the telltale signs, and it is especially strong for very moon dominant charts, like where you are transitioning in dasha sandhi. Saturn's dasha is either side involved, or Ketu dasha is either side involved of the transition, or this could be the 7th, 8th, or the 12th lord's dasha. So friends, just we will briefly look at it like the planet wise dasha sandhi tendency. And when I narrate for any planet, I mean to say when this planetary dasha is about to come, it's not dasha which you are ending, it's like the planetary dasha which you're about to begin, okay? So let's say for example, Sun Sandhi, when you're about to start the Sun dasha, and we know that it generally happens after the Venus. Like for example, you're almost at the end, last few months of the Venus Mahadasha, and just awaiting for the Sun Mahadasha to take over, okay? So in the Sun Sandhi, native might have authority issues, or native might have to do the ego recalibration, or there might be father government theme which will destabilize, because there is a genuine reason for that, right? Because you are so comfortable, so relationship oriented in the Venus dasha, but the Sun dasha demand like ego and your dynamics with the bosses in a different light. That is the only reason some people end up having issues with authority. Before, you were just being able to get the work done via using your charm, via using your contacts, but now you have to get accustomed to the reality. Now friends, let's say for example, if you are awaiting the dasha of the moon, so moon sandhi, so you might experience in a way like there could be emotional turbulence, sleep issue, or home or mother shift can happen, some people relocate, or there might be heightened sensitivity which native might also encounter. Let's say for example, if you are about to welcome the Mars dasha, you are at the Mars sandhi, so there might be anger or energy crashes or conflicts without any genuine cause, or physical restlessness. If you are at the Mercury sandhi, so there might be concerns of overthinking, communication errors, or career related confusion. If you are in the Jupiter sandhi, this could be loss of faith temporarily, or teacher guru disillusionment, or moral realignment. If you're in the Venus Sandhi, we say that there might be relationship dissatisfaction, pleasure fatigue, or value system change. Friends, Saturn Sandhi can actually create a lot of the problem, because even the dasha previous to it is like Jupiter and Rahu combination. So Jupiter Mahadasha, Rahu Antar. So that in itself is also very confusing. And over and above that, the karmic pressure of the Saturn Dasha, which is about to take over. So like there might be identity collapse related concern, career reset, or loneliness related concern, harsh reality checks. Let's say, for example, if you're about to welcome the Rahu Mahadasha, like you are at a Rahu Sandhi, right? So this might pave path to chaos, obsession, sudden changes, break from the past identity, or the desire might suddenly spike. If, let's say, for example, if you are at Ketu Sandhi, it will talk about the detachment without any proper explanation, or there might be a spiritual pull or withdrawal or loss of interest in the worldly roles. So friends, in a way, Dasha Sandhi is not all about like that you start doing the prognosis that my dasha is going to be bad. Even at the beginning it is giving me so much problem, it has not even started. Now imagine when I will be deep in this dasha, it will only give me more problems. So it's not like that. Sandhi does not judge good or bad planets. So even a benefic planet causes disturbance at Sandhi. The only reason is that change in itself is destabilizing. A great dasha still ends with exhaustion. And friends, like how you can judge the severity of the dasha sandhi. So always check these 5 factors. The very first is relationship between the outgoing and the incoming planet. Like if they are friendly, it is going to be smoother. If they are enemy, there is going to be a lot of the turbulence which you might have to experience. Or if it is the karmic axis of Rahu Ketu, if it is involved, then your whole destiny is shifting. So it is going to be intense. You have to also take into consideration the house ownership. If outgoing dasha lord is like it rules 6, 8 or 12 houses, there might be relief after the sandhi. Or if it rules the 1st, 4th, 7th or 10th, then there might be identity shock. You have to also see the natal strength of incoming planet. So if it is strong, chaos will settle quickly. If it is weak or afflicted, prolonged instability. The Navamsa, dignity of the incoming planet, if weak in the D9, relationship and the inner stability issues dominate. And the transit during Sandhi, that is also very important, because Saturn Rahu transit overlapping Sandhi. Like you are also having the transit of the Saturn over your moon, like the Sadesati, at the same time when your major dasha is changing, right? So this can also amplify confusion and detachment, often very strongly life altering. So friends, the spiritual meaning of the dasha sandhi is that dasha sandhi exists to break attachment to identity. The soul is being told you are not the role you played in the last dasha. Hence, ego will loosen, control will reduce, and surrender is demanded. Those who resist, they suffer the most. Those who will allow transition evolve rapidly. So friends, the classical approach to the dasha sandhi is that classics don't say fear sandhi, they imply pause during the sandhi. And the best practices is avoid any major irreversible decision, reduce your expectation, observe the patterns, increase the sadhana or the mantra or the charity, and let life rearrange quietly on its own. Friends, if I were to recommend you some sort of remedies, right? So and these remedies are not to fix the sandhi but to stabilize the mind. So my recommendation is that mantra of the incoming dasha lord, whose dasha you will start after, like the planet who will take over. So the mantra chanting for that planet, grounding routines are very important. Charity related to the outgoing dasha lord, because what is exiting, do the charity. What is coming, do the mantra for it. and avoid any aggressive remedy. So Sandhi is not to be conquered, friends, it is to be crossed gently. And friends, I always say, see, Dasha Sandhi is not punishment, it is like a karmic handover. So life feels unstable because one chapter is truly ending and another has not fully begun. So those who survive Sandhi consciously enter the new Dasha with clarity, avoid unnecessary damage, and often emerge wiser, lighter, and more aligned. And friends, see, obviously, like if you want to apply the same principle to the Antardasha Sandhi as well, right? For example, you are in the Saturn Mahadasha and in the Antar of the Mars and about to transition into the Rahu. So last few weeks of that. So see, this is a shift of the mood, focus, and the subkarma within the same life chapter. So it affects more on the emotional state, day-to-day functioning, short-term goals, relationship tone, and the mental clarity. So its duration I mentioned, it's from weeks to a few months, and the nature is going to be internal discomfort more than the external collapse. So situation may stay same, but your response might change, and often mistaken for something is wrong with me. So Antardasha Sandhi has more to do with the change of the lens, not of the life. And also friends, like if I were to also give you like some more factors that can modify the effect. So we have already talked about the planetary relationship becomes very important if the two planets are friends. Example, sun and the moon, the transition is going to be smoother. If they are enemies, it is going to be rocky. Vargotam, if the incoming planet whose dasha is about to begin is Vargotam, same sign in the D1 and the D9, the transition will bring great power to you. And let's say for example, if the incoming planetary dasha and that planet is in the Gandant, so if the dasha change happen while the moon or planet is in a Gandanta point, like the junction of the water and the fire signs, then the Sandhi is extremely transformative. And the same is applicable to the Bhav Sandhi as well. If a planet is also at the edge of a house, Bhav, the results become even more unpredictable. So friends, again, all what I can say, the practical advice for the transition is just avoid the major life changes around this time. When people book their reading with me and I see that they are being impacted from all the front, they are in a almost at the verge of the Dasha Sandhi, they are in the Sade Sati, and everything is aligning in that direction. The only recommendation or advice which I give is avoid any major transition. Be patient, let things settle down, then you will be in the right state. If imagine, like how can you concentrate, how can you see when the ground beneath you is shaking? So yes friends, that's all what I can say. And the spiritual grounding is also equally important because the mind is unstable during the Sandhi. So meditation, grounding rituals are recommended to manage the shifting, the weather of the soul. So okay friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. So friends, you know that this is a research platform. We all learn, we all gain from each other. So let's say for example, if you're of that age, you're in the mid 40s or late 40s, you have already gone through 2 or 3 Mahadasha. So how your life was when you were in the Dasha Sandhi, in those close juncture of the change in the Dasha. So do share your experience in the comment section so that we can learn from each other. So okay friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.